You pull that a bit closer to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you, Steve?
The only responsibility now I've got is sound. All right, so just
sound, shelves, cleaning, pressing record on the cameras.
Yeah.
Once you've done that, how have you felt doing nothing of contribution to this podcast?
To this thing that doesn't really do anything for my life.
It doesn't do anything for your life. It's the only reason I live. It gets me out of the house, gives me hope, light at the end of the tunnel. So now that I'm alone in my I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, has it felt doing nothing?
It's been it has been good. It's been I've definitely felt more at ease with the work that I've got to do without like the stress of having this, and also
stress.
Well,
it's work. There's work to do. Yeah,
but also like seeing the edit, like I don't really see any difference. Like, I don't think there's any apart from the odd flying dinosaur here and there that comes in.
Yeah. A bit more joie de vivre as well as my blackface.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I was watching it and I was seeing these photos coming in, which were relevant to the conversation and everything. I was just like, there is no way I would have been asked to do that. Like when I was doing it, it was factory work. It's just in, out, get it done, get it out, get it on, because just, and not through lack of enjoyment for the actual podcast, but just
work ethic and personality.
No, like I put that effort into the other stuff, but like for this kind of thing, it was just it just got quite mundane. Whereas I think if you still got the interest and the passion to actually go that extra step, then it's good.
Like I think 30 episodes or more than 30 episodes we've done recorded.
35, 45, 55, like 35, 34, 35 episodes. Let's say you did maybe 3 of them. Yeah, I think up until
so
now.
Then after a while it does just become camera 1, camera 2, camera 1,
camera
2. But it's fine. I think it was just a case of it was just badly struck. The management structure was bad. I think. Well, we were both editing the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's the equivalent of writing subtitles for a film. It's like, well, I'll do this page, you do the other page.
Yeah.
Then I'll do this page, and then you do the other. It's like, why the fuck are we doing this? So it's just like, I'll do it. But yeah, it's fine. It opens stuff up.
Yeah.
I've got less. I'm not going to call them burdens, I'm not married, and I'm not starting a business. So I've got more free time and less stress.
Yeah.
Tied into as well. Do you think you get stressed? What do you call it because when we first became friends, there was a whole thing about whenever there was a red traffic light, you'd get upset. And not upset like, oh God, it was just like, you'd just be like, oh, for God's sake.
Like being grumpy.
Yeah. And it just kind of adds to that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I've probably spoken about it a couple of times where like one of the reasons that me and Vic's like work is because I stress over small stupid things, but big things like big problems don't really faze me. Whereas she's the exact opposite of that. So we're good at kind of like managing different parts of each other's lives in that respect.
I'll stress about these, you stress about those. Yeah. And then we'll combine forces.
Yeah. Like one of us in any given situation will always have a level head, I guess. So I don't know if I'd describe it as stress. Stress always felt like a long-term thing.
It always felt like an active pressure. Like I was speaking to someone the other day because I was watching Fleabag. Have you watched Fleabag?
Yeah, I saw a few of them.
Did you like it?
From what I remember, it was a few years ago.
Yeah, I just remember I'm an empty husk of a human being, really, and just there was things that I just couldn't understand or I couldn't relate to any of the characters in it, and I think that's my main source of connecting to a show or a film is the story or the character's journey within that story.
Yeah. And
with this one, it just felt like there was topics that I couldn't relate to. Like, I can't relate to anxiety on any level. It's like anti-Semitism. I just can't.
You're very mellow. In fact, weirdly, the most sort of stressed I've ever known you was when we were prepping for the show. For the con.
Yeah, that wasn't even stressed. It was just like, I just got to be responsible.
That I would say is the closest that you've been to being visibly stressed in front of me.
At the con or before?
Before, in prep leading up to it, when you're talking about your conversations that you've had with the vendors and and all of this stuff.
Right,
I'd say that was the point where you were, I guess, coming across as the most frazzled. I think frazzled is probably a more appropriate word, because that's the truth.
Talking with people,
you lacking sleep and dealing with all the shit.
Well, I was talking to somebody and they were just like, I don't get nervous around any. I don't get nervous.
Have we started?
I don't know yet. Are we recording?
We have, but we're like 8.5 minutes in.
Yeah, there'll be something in here to jump into.
All right.
Something about the crippling horribleness about my life and escaping into the podcast world.
Yeah.
And you being glad that it's no longer a No, there was a thing about, I was speaking to somebody about, because the Fleabag is, there was loads of, I just couldn't relate to the character on anything. And like the first line of the first series is like, oh, you know that balled up, nervous, anxious feeling you get when you've invited someone round to have sex and then they come round. Like, I don't understand that at all. If somebody gives you a booty call and you say yes and then they come over for a booty call, I have no reason to be nervous.
Yeah.
I'm not scared, but I haven't got any insecurities.
Yeah.
Like, so I think that's that whole thing of like, I just don't have that.
I think shame. You have no shame.
Sure. Yeah. There's a whole thing about like, oh, when I was a kid, I used to wax my back. I say used to. I did it like twice, three times. I was like, this is bother. I can't be asked for this. So now I'm just a hairy backed man. And I'm like, hey, if you don't like, if that scares you, you don't want to get to know the rest of me. Oh, he's got lint in his back hair. Oh my god! I was like, no, those children. I'm not gonna play with those children anymore. Yeah. I'm not a child anymore. You kind of grow up out of that. But it came also to be, and that came into a whole thing about like I have no emotional connection with any human being. I guess is what that boils down to. Just like he said, oh, there was a friend who's like, oh yeah, I had to go around and when I went downstairs to open the door, I was like a little bit, just that nervous energy. And even when, having sex, I was feeling a bit of nervous energy.
I've had that.
Never had it.
Like, not
well, maybe
not anxious,
when I was a teenager.
Not to the point where it's crippling, but almost like butterflies.
Yeah, but I've had butterflies about meeting somebody new and excited about what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I've had some kind of emotional reaction. But not like you've met them once before. They're coming round for some primal animal sex of some kind, drunk and whatever. It's like, oh, I had to shave my legs. Then don't shave your legs. Who cares?
Right.
Or I had to pretend I just got in from the club. Why? It's like, oh, you're just young. Again, I just couldn't connect. A not crippling thing of the show. Yeah. But it led into a conversation about how, I just can't relate to anti-Semitism, nervousness, or insecurity. So,
those three. Yeah, the triad.
Pyramid.
Yeah.
Pyramid of Nick. It's just a pyramid of nothing. Yeah. Oh, okay. This led to a whole different thing. And then I realised there is evil within me. Well, not evil. I thought about it because it was Halloween. And there were kids running around on Halloween. And I was just like, how inappropriate would it be if I just opened up my angry gorilla demon just for like 5 seconds? I think people would get concerned, because there was another thing. A friend recommended to me a therapy workshop, because I've been to therapy. It's all fine.
You should do this.
But I read the description and it was like the most what do they call the stars? Astrology based therapy in the world.
Bollocks.
And just aimed towards that, and it's genuine is a problem, and it's just a lot of people, they don't know how to deal with their anger in any way, or they don't know how to express it, and so they keep it stuffed down. I can't do that. My anger's always just wanting to come up and jump out. Right. But I guess it's probably masked by other things, because stress, I think, is a subconscious thing for me. I've never felt stressed, but I've noticed myself acting in different ways in stressful situations. And I've been like, maybe it's stress. I don't know. I've had that with, like, when I get angry at you for drinking, I don't know, milk.
Yeah, when you get angry for no good reason. Yeah. Like, I think everybody has a stress response, I guess. It's just a matter of what yours is compared to other people's. Yeah.
And I think it's just, but for me, it's like, I guess, I think I've described it before as, if you make your bed, that's when the assassins and the demons will come out of the corners and kill you. And you always need to be on your defensive.
So your stress response is to be totally illogical,
logical, totally logical. I can make my bed with a machete. We've decided this. That's the answer solution to having a tidy room.
No, because logic requires reason. There's no reason for that.
I'm a high-value target. I mean, I've been stalked many times in my life.
Yeah.
From a very young age, so that's probably where it's come from. So it's always been like, oh, got to watch your corners. Not like... Just you got to be careful what you say to people, because I know how stalkers feel and act.
Yeah.
And it's not because I'm incredible. It's not an egotistical thing. It's just... that's just part of my origin story. It's just people just sitting in cars and watching me wherever I go. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. So yeah, there's a little bit... That's what I get about you using your extension cord from miles away.
Right.
I just go like, you're just opening yourself up to attack.
And again, there's...
Active imagination as well. Way too active imagination. If you don't... What if you pull that out? That could be trapped to a tripwire to a grand piano that's going to fall on your head. I've seen way too many Wile E. Coyote shit. Yeah. Or whatever it is. So I think, there's bits of like that. But it has resulted in an angry gorilla demon that's always within me. That I really don't feel any like Hulk... Bruce Banner thing about. It's not like, oh, you don't make me angry. It's like, no, it's just like...
You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
It's like the alien chest burster. It's just like, it's just part of me. It's just in me. So when when Halloween was going on, earlier in the day, or the day before actually, there were kids putting fireworks through people's letterboxes. Because kids and vulnerable elderly and animals in the house. Yeah. There was like people lynching kids in the street. My housemate came in and was like, there's a load of adults chasing kids in the street. And the kids on the phone going, they've got him. So I was like, well, I better come out and see if I can do something. Because I always get involved in stupid situations. Yeah. And yeah, they're putting, gunpowder through letterboxes. Yeah. I was like,
there's been some of that around here as well. Kids. Yeah, exactly. Like, you need a consequence. I'm not saying you need to die. Yeah, You need a consequence.
Well, I thought it was just they were just adults having a Halloween... lynching,
Halloween kidnap. Yeah.
So I was like, let's not stand for this.
It's a perfect night of the year to do it. Yeah,
we'd said last week you can decapitate your mother and drag her in the streets as long as it's Halloween. Yeah, no one will care. Yeah, be fine. But yeah, as these kids were going around like trying to scare people, I was like, if I just let out one angry gorilla demon scream, I think it would there'd be a little bit of I was like, it's Halloween, any reason to do this? Yeah. It's like, no. Yeah. So, yeah, there's a lot of people, back to that astrology therapy thing, was very much having a go at trying to get people to unload their feelings. Yeah. And I've never felt that way about anything. Whenever there's been a workshop thing where they're trying to get you emotional, I'm like, hey, I'm really emotional. I'm just really controlling of it. Yeah. So, it's doable. The amount of times I've been like, try being angry. So, okay. I'll try being angry. It's like, okay. Yeah, no. Fair enough. I think you're okay with this. Well, not okay, outlet. But yeah, just different comfort. And being, again, insecurity and shame, but no insecurity or shame about pretty much everything.
I mean, I think, like, I think do you understand depression? Like, I think you've said so. You've had it, but then I think you redacted and were like, I actually think it was just this. I can't remember.
I think I've had depression. I probably still have depression.
A lot of people that talk about depression also understand like the ideas around stress and anxiety and everything, because it usually goes hand in hand.
That was the big thing for me, was when I was always talking to doctors and stuff, they were telling me I had anxiety. Right. And I'd tell them honestly, I'd be like, I feel no anxiety. And they'd give me loads of tests. And I'd be like, I'm not nervous about going outside. I film myself every week, and I don't like hold back on topics if I want to open up about something. Yeah, there's no fear of chatting about anything or fear of talking to people, or there's not a fear of reaching out to people. But there's a confidence in being able to look after myself. I think it's a weird blurred line. Like if you have suicidal thoughts, you can go, you always have to reach out. You'd be like, if it becomes unmanageable, sure. But I know. But on the flip side, I've had people talk to me about suicidal thoughts in a jokey way. It's like, I find it hilarious if you kill yourself. But the fact that you're talking about suicide unprompted, just so you know, feel free to chat to me whenever you want. Yeah. But I'm the other way around. I go like, no, I can look after myself. I think it's bigger brother syndrome I've mentioned before. Yeah. Just can't look after it. Yeah. So yeah, Halloween, screaming at people.
Yeah. Do you do Halloween?
No.
No. No, is there a reason, or is it just?
One or I don't want to give kids sweets because I'm diabetic. I need that sugar for me, right? And just it's
Right.
just that family neighborhood tradition. If I had kids, I'm sure I would get involved. But the fact that I don't, and just the audacity of just... And again, I love people expressing themselves.
Yeah.
Go around, dress up as whatever you want, be scary, be whatever you want to be, and interact. And
Yeah.
get to know your neighbours. It's good to get to know your neighbours, all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff, but just fuck off. In the same... Like, I put a sign on my door that says, don't bring on my door because it stresses my dog out.
Oh, right.
Because I'm working or I'm doing something and then it's like, oh,
Yeah.
there's kids. I don't have anything for you.
Yeah.
Go away.
Oh.
If they were selling religion, if they wanted you to take the spirit of Christ from you,
Yeah.
it'd be a whole different story.
To be fair, I never used to do anything for Halloween. But I sort of inherited it from Vix and her family and stuff because they've always had like a bowl of sweets and they dress the house up and kids come and give them sweets and all that shit.
Well, it's like
we-
interacting with kids, isn't it?
Yeah, I find it.
I'm not the right person.
It's so weird, man. Like I'll do the house up and be like, yeah, they'll fucking love this shit, and like get like good sweets, not just really shit cheap ones. Like, yeah, this is the fucking bomb, and then they come to the door like, Vix, just get the door, would you? Like, I don't like dealing with it when I get here because I'm still at this point where I'm just like, I don't know how to talk to you.
Well,
I don't know how to in front of your parents as well.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. It's strange. Or there were a couple that I did get, and it made me really happy because there was these. It was the dads that were taking him round, and as soon as I opened the door, his face just dropped, and he was just like, "Oh," it's like, "What?" Well, everyone else that was answering the door, we were just saying like it's all the mums, and you've just ruined our streak now.
You've ruined it.
Great. Here's some sweets.
That's my treat.
That's what I did. Yeah. This made it well worth my while.
Well, again, it's that whole thing about I don't have that cute gland, and I think that's part of it. Is look what you've dressed up as. Look what you've dressed up as.
Yeah.
And I was like, you've all dressed. Have some apples.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Vix is good at that. The fawning over the costumes and everything like that. Like if I see someone dressed up as something cool or funny or whatever, I get that cute gland reaction, which is like, yes, not like no, but like
pity.
Yeah, but
So
like,
I don't think it is
cool.
pity, but it's the word that fits best with
I
me.
still don't get it with kids, man.
Yeah, well,
I just don't.
They won't get my references. They won't get my jokes.
No,
They're 7.
yeah,
They haven't seen Fight Club. They haven't seen Predator enough times.
No.
I can't connect with you. If I had kids, then everything would be very different because then it's more of a community thing.
yeah,
Whereas now I just rather everyone just left me alone.
yeah.
I guess it's a warning sign.
Oh,
Anyway, big night tonight.
yeah.
Tom Segura and Josh Potter.
At Segura Tom.
At Segura Tom. On one of his social networks. I can't remember what it was.
It's on Insta. I only know it because he posted a video this week because he met the one that took Tom Segura because it was some bloke from Essex where he just performed.
Yeah, Tom Segura, massive fan of Tom Segura and Your Mum's House podcast. So Josh Potter as well. He's appeared a bunch on that. Haven't seen Josh Potter stand up at all. So interested to see him. But he's the legend who interviewed Robert Paul Champagne.
Okay.
I mentioned before. And did it in such a great way. I believe he's supporting him on his tour, on this tour. So I'm assuming, I haven't double checked, but yeah, he's been going around tour trying to get laid.
We've never caught the support comics. Every time we see Bill, I'm like, oh, maybe he's bought like Joe DeRosa, or maybe he's like one of his guys. But it's never is. It's always someone that he's never met.
Ranganathan last time.
Yeah.
And I hated because that set was so bad. I think because we were looking for Bill Burr, and it was like, this is so not Bill Burr.
Yeah.
And it was the first time I saw Ramesh Ranganathan there, and it was years ago. And since then, he's kind of grown on me a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you know Ramesh Ranganathan?
I remember seeing him then. I've never seen him since.
He's done loads of, I think, BBC stuff. He hosts a load of quiz panel, kind of shows with his mum.
Okay.
But it's the same with him and Miles Jupp. There were two people that I couldn't relate to because their character, and James Acaster, They were character acts.
You like James Acaster now,
yeah,
right?
I like them all now.
Yeah.
But when I first
that's so strange.
them,
I remember you telling me about Miles Jupp, and you're like, I hate
him.
this guy.
Yeah.
I hate him.
But the thing is, because it felt like they were leaning into a character.
Yeah.
You had Ramesh Ranganathan was, I think, racism. He was leaning into the whole about race, and he was the angry, miserable, what did you just say kind of guy.
Right.
Miles Jupp was just the playing into middle class, wealthy, snobbish, and James Acaster was playing too hard into weird. And I just felt like this was so tried. But as they've done it more and more, they've kind of relaxed, it feels like. And they've kind of been like, okay, that act is now gone. And now it's like, yeah, it was obviously based on something.
Yeah.
They've kind of built into it. But that's my stupid insight into it.
Yeah.
But they've grown on me after a while because you can see a little bit through and see like, oh, no, yeah, there's the real person. And it's no longer the performance.
Yeah, that's good. It's
might be just in my head. I might just not like them at first and they grow on me. But it feels true to me.
Yeah. There's a bunch of like weird crossovers that have happened in the stuff that I listen to where comedians go on wrestlers' podcasts and wrestlers go on comedians' podcasts and stuff, and they always say that like there's a massive amount of crossover in the stuff that they do in regards to the way that they listen to an audience and the way that they develop character and stuff like that. But they all say like the most successful people have always been ones that have taken genuine, real aspects of their personality and just been able to dial it up.
Yeah.
So it's relatable. So it's like that's a person. That's real. Even whether it's doing something fucking like a superhero or whatever, or whether it's someone up on stage telling jokes, like there's something real there. You're not just a character. But it can take years to find that.
And I think as well, that's why people say that it takes 7 to 10 years to do stand-up comedy. And I think it's because, one, you need to break through loads of different mental barriers that you yourself have put up.
Yeah.
Like, for example, the first one is being nervous on stage. I think if you're nervous on stage, everyone knows you're nervous and doesn't trust you. So you need to be confident enough and comfortable enough to go on stage and ignore everybody.
Yeah.
Then you need to figure out what it is you want to talk about. It's got to be relatable. All these different phases that you go through. And one of them, I think, is stage presence or stage persona. And then once they've got that solidified, you're sticking it for too long. And then you need to figure out, well, now that you're comfortable on stage and you're known on stage, how do you open up yourself more? Yeah. And I think, there was just a weird phase with some people who were like, this is just the stage act. This is just I get it. Yay. Oh, Labour or Conservatives. I don't care about any of this. Yeah. I want to know about you. And then, they slowly crack it open. So Josh Potter and Tom Segura tonight. So that's going to be pretty cool. Yeah. Well, I didn't realise how much of a fan I am of Your Mum's House podcast. I mean, I've watched every episode for like the last 5 years. Right. Like just every week. And it's just like, well, no, I can't remember how many.
I've only watched a few of them.
Oh, yeah, every week. I just find it's really good. Since they were in a small office space, I think I started to do it. I think it was in my house, and I've been in my house for 3 years, and it was when I first moved into my house. Yeah. So about 3 years. Then it's like, with everything, I go, and the more I think about it, more like, I think I'm actually a super fan. Right. So it's going to be very interesting to go there. Because I've already been like, I can shout out all these references. It's like, I don't want to do that, but there'll be part of me that wants to do it. That sounds like a fan. Yeah. So, just like it'll be fun. Yeah. Anyway, in the news, we haven't done proper news for a while.
We're not playing the intro this week. We're just not going to do it.
That's why you asked if we started. Yeah. Right, okay. Now roll the intro.
Fucking 25 minutes in.
I can't do shit, but I know I want to. Maybe if we talk about it, I'll find shit to do. I got a brain somewhere and you got one too. Da-ba-da-da, something to be fucking do.
Right, what were you going to say?
Well, what I'm going to say now is I think I'm just going to cut that whole thing out. That feels really weird.
The intro?
The intro at 25 minutes.
Nah, it's cool.
It's cool. It's what all the cool kids are doing.
Have you not noticed it on TV shows? Like it's on some of them you can get like 10 minutes in before the intro kicks in. It's like, oh yeah, it never actually started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think as well, we're coming up to a change on the music.
Yeah. Yeah.
As in starting to experiment with other stuff.
Yeah.
Like you experimented with the con video.
The con stuff, I like the blues kind of feel to separate the day, and it kind of more spoke about like the mood and everything. I quite like that.
Yeah, and we've been talking about shortening this intro
for a long
anyway.
time. Yeah.
So yeah, I reckon we'll play around with some new stuff anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that'd be cool. Anyway, in the news, we haven't done any proper news for a couple of weeks because we had Halloween special last week. Bit more Halloween today. But yes, it might be a bit old. Yeah, good housekeeping. In other news, a man and 6 young adults have been discovered after apparently living for 9 years in a cellar on a remote Dutch farm, waiting for the end of time.
Wait for it.
Yeah.
Just waiting for his watch to stop.
Yeah, we'll just chill here and maybe time will end.
Well, if you keep charging it, it won't stop.
This was a little while ago, but yeah, they just found all these people. Just, well, where have you guys been? What's this gap in your CV? I was waiting for the end of time. But how it happened was pretty funny. A 58-year-old man has been arrested, and 6 young adults were discovered in a shut-off space on the farm.
Arrested?
Well, I think they're being helped, motivated to do it.
So he's like a cult leader.
I think, they kind of suggested that these people didn't know that any other human beings existed.
Dude, if you could do that, you're a genius.
Well, the town that it happened in is called Ruiner World. So if you grew up in Ruiner World,
yeah,
you'd think the world was ruined, right?
Yeah.
Must be something in there. The detective would not confirm the relation between the people or describe the conditions they were found in or their state of health for privacy reasons. So, are they okay? No comment. But did time end? Is time ended?
Yeah.
No comment. Apart from to say they're now safe. When the alarm was sounded at the weekend because a barman at a local bar was just working, and one of these people came in asking for a beer. And he was like, "We're closed." And then he came back. The first time I saw him, I sent him away, but a few days later he came back. Last week he came in and ordered a few beers, but we were going to shut. Last Sunday he ordered 5 beers and drank them. Then I talked to him. He said he ran away and he needed help. So, talk about people not wanting to open up about their feelings.
Yeah.
If you've been waiting for 9 years for time to end and it doesn't and you need a drink,
yeah,
you just give me the drink first, then we'll talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll have 5 beers and then I'll start to chat to you.
I've waited for a while. I don't know how long.
Yeah. It didn't seem like there was any point counting after a while, assuming it was going to end.
Why count something that's not even going to be there anymore?
Yeah, the media reported that the children apparently had no contact with the outside world and lived on a vegetable garden and several animals on the farm. It's a farm behind some trees, so no one saw it.
Yeah.
Roger de Groot, mayor of the village of Ruiner World, told a press conference that the man arrested was not the father of the young adults. They were between 18 and 25. So what, 16 years old, the oldest, if they was there for 9 years?
Yeah.
Thinking the world's going to end?
Yeah.
Maybe he was the one who went to have a drink.
16 years when he got out?
No, when
16.
25 when he got out.
Right, okay.
So maybe he was 16 when he started, if he was there for the full 9 years.
Well, that's banging. Like, if you go in and...
banging!
No, but if you don't know how much time has passed and you get out and you realise it's legal for you to drink, and the first thing you do is buy beer. Like, never mind all the shit that's happened and everything like that. It's like, no, I'm 21 now, I think.
Yeah.
I need to go get a beer.
Do you have a driver's license? I don't know.
Yeah.
We ate it.
We burnt it for warmth. Yeah.
Yeah, there's something... I mean, this is probably tragic. It doesn't go into detail because it doesn't say what state they're in. Maybe they were really happy. He knows
some shit now, though, man. As much as he won't be very well developed socially, I guess
he won't get all our film references.
Yeah, no, not at all. Nothing from the last
so
10 years. Yeah,
I'm not very serious.
it's a whole thing. He's dead as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you won't really know things socially, but like, I mean, the idea. I think a lot of people are terrified about the idea of being cut off from the world.
Yeah,
and not knowing what to do in that situation. It's just like you'll be fine. We were
just get a dog.
Yeah.
It does substitute quite well.
Yeah,
I don't think if I didn't get my dog, I think I'd be in a much worse state than I am. I'm not in like a
mentally,
great state.
Yeah,
just mentally of just like having a friend around the house to chat to and bounce ideas off of.
Yeah. It does invite a John Wick situation into your life, though.
Oh yeah,
where, like, if anything happens to your dog,
definitely the whole angry gorilla demon comes out. Well, I got pissed off that people are ringing the doorbell. My dog thinks, "Oh great, my mozzarella cheese balls have arrived," and she's like, "Mozzarella cheese balls, mozzarella cheese balls." Like, no, there's no. I have to break her down and go, "I'm sorry, but there's no mozzarella coming for you."
Yeah,
these kids want stuff from us.
To be fair, though, you had to teach her to bark at the door. When you, like, for a while, the people knock on the door and she didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, she's very much a me dog.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what... And there is a whole thing about they do pick up all your energy and they kind of mimic it because people do that as well.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, there's very... You've commented before that she's not very... she won't be looking for attention, for cuddles all the time.
Oh, yeah, no.
She's not the kind of come and pet me dog.
Yeah.
She's like, let's go out and do shit dog.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But she's
Let's
very...
smash up this house.
When she was a puppy, yeah. But now it's just, let's just fucking run. That's basically her all the time. Yeah, she's cool when she chills out. It's just, yeah, she knows how to look after herself. Well, she doesn't, but talk about my dog in the second person.
Yeah.
Is that second person?
I don't know what second person is. Someone asked me this the other day.
I think it's he, she.
Everyone knows first and third. I don't know what second is.
Yeah, I think it's he, she, I think. Or whatever.
It's he, I guess it's he, she, when you're referring to someone else, as opposed to referring to yourself. That's third person, isn't it?
Yeah, when you're referring to yourself. I think somebody tried to create a second person shooter. You've got first person shooter, where it's from your perspective, third person from an exterior perspective, and then it was like, yeah,
second
you'd have
person
to
where
describe,
your mate has to see what you're shooting at.
just like outwardly describe
Yeah.
what it was. Oh no, there was an example of it in an old game about driving or something I watched it on, and it was you were another character but viewing it from another character's perspective, but you were controlling that character in front of you.
Right, okay.
So you move left and the car in front of you would move left. It's a weird concept.
That's strange.
Anyway, in other news, 3 women in North Carolina are accused of running a fight club among elderly people with dementia at an assisted living facility. Now, I read this and I thought, oh, they're just, they're like people trying to make them argue, like quabble. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like, oh, you know, she says your nephew doesn't look adorable.
Yeah.
You know, just start that kind of natural thing. One of them got strangled.
Wow.
That is a fight club.
Yeah.
That is elderly people strangling each other.
Yeah.
That's pretty weird. It's pretty insane.
Christ.
Marilyn McKee, Tanisha Tyson, and Tanisha Jordan are facing charges of assaulting an individual with a disability, encouraging residents to fight each other.
Jesus Christ.
They all got dementia as well, so they probably you can tell them anything and they'll believe that maybe it was true.
That's true.
They could be unfortunately mentally handicapped to the point where you could manipulate them.
Yeah. We're running out of space. They don't know what's going on. Let's just sort this out.
Just get them to fight each other.
Yeah.
A fight to senility.
Yeah.
To losing your mind.
Yeah.
Fucking insane.
Give them a big prize at the end of it, and then they'll forget all about it, and we don't have to do anything.
And then you got the second season.
Yeah, and where we do the same prize. Like,
it's pretty horrific. One resident was strangled and her face turned red while staff recorded and shared the video. I thought you went blue because of oxygen deprivation.
No, I think you go red because you
go red if you force blood into your head.
Yeah.
But you go blue if you lose. Well, why are you pink? You're pink because of blood, right?
Yeah.
Blood is red because it has oxygen.
Yeah.
Is the blood in your head blue then? Yeah.
I don't know.
But you pump oxygen around your body.
No,
we need to get a Jewish and a doctor in here.
yeah. On
get a round table.
Yeah.
Just different guests. We
See,
wanna
like
ask
in those
questions.
situations,
Why do you turn red?
In those situations, I would welcome a Skype call situation where we could phone an expert just very quickly about something stupid.
Why does this old person go red when you strangle them?
Yeah.
Oh, it's because of this.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Dr. Drew's on your mum's house podcast.
That's fair enough. Like,
You
yeah.
can ask into them,
Yeah.
I guess. But yeah, so people filming an elderly woman getting strangled. Pretty intense. Another staff member can be heard saying, "Are you recording? You got to send that one to me." Oh, dude, you catch that strangling.
Why are you showing people this?
The thing that I found funny was the retirement homes or Danby Houses response. They said they've got a zero tolerance policy for this kind of thing. Zero tolerance for strangling.
I didn't. It's like I didn't realise that you'd have to put that in the rule book. Like, don't start a fight club.
Got zero tolerance. Administrators have been working closely with the Winston-Salem Police Department throughout its investigation. Additional staff training and a more rigorous vetting process for all new and existing employees has been implemented. Have you strangled people before? Oh, yeah. No, well, I haven't strangled them personally, but I've gotten them to strangle each other. We can't have any more of that. No, sorry.
Yeah.
We'd like to have more staff training to not teach people to strangle each other, just to stop that from happening. It's that whole thing about, do you really have to tell them? And you've got to the point now where you have to go, yeah, you do. You have to tell people not to do stupid things, because people are stupid. Yes, people should be smarter. But
It's not a stupid thing, though. It's an illegal thing.
Well, yeah. Sorry, I was thinking about something else. But yeah, this is definitely don't strangle. No more strangling. No more fight clubs. Number one, don't talk about it. Number two, don't fucking talk about it. You filmed it.
Yeah.
In similar news, nice segue, a woman was killed as she was leaning out of a train window below an inadequate warning sign. So there was a warning sign saying, "Don't put your head out the window," but it wasn't adequate. So she put her head out the window, and she's dead. Well, thinking about it, I should have. There's many occasions I can think of where I should have died because I did something stupid.
Yeah,
I think everyone's done that. It's just kind of luck of the draw. Where there's people who put themselves in more harm's way. But I've been in loads of situations where I should have died.
It's one of those things where it's like, I don't believe in an afterlife, but if there is, I hope they show you all the stats of your life. Like, and one of them would be like, how many times have I nearly died and not realised?
Well, just stupid things like you walked through a drive-through, could have just got hit by a car.
Yeah.
And that would be an article on this.
Yeah.
Be, guy walks through drive-through, gets hit by a car.
Yeah.
Of course.
Man pretending to be a car gets hit by a car.
Gets hit by a non-pretending to be a car. But yeah, there was a sign to not do it. She was hit in the head by a tree.
We were still on the fight clubs. No fight clubs on a sign.
Yeah. Well, they got better staff training. Yeah. This is how not to run a fight club. Or how to not run a fight club, I guess.
Yeah. And none of the residents can remember the rules. It's like
they're all talking about
there's only one.
His name was Robert.
Whose name? I don't know.
I think he was a friend of my nephew. Are nephews important to elderly people? I think they are.
I think just relatives. Yeah.
Yeah. Grandchildren more so, I guess.
So who's a nephew? A nephew is your sibling's kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people have like close families. Like, we don't really have a close family. I know all my relatives are pretty much, but you don't see
very distant.
See them very often.
Very distant, but
I think some people are really close.
At one point, I think we had over 300 relatives when I was a kid. I talked to 1%. What's 1% 300? 3. If that, or less. Yeah. Immediate family, really, is the only thing I talk to, if that, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got hit by a tree. The Rail Accident Investigation Branch also noted trees along the route had not been inspected since 2009. Signs around the window were updated after she died. And apparently her friend stuck her head out the window and was fine. So she stuck her head out the window and got hit by a tree.
Oh.
Update your sign. I was expecting you to be more angry about that.
So what does
like good?
What does the sign say?
It says something like caution. do not put your head out the window when the train is moving.
Right, and they saw it and did it anyway.
Yeah, well, they argue in here that means that if you go through it with caution, you should be fine. And they go like, I don't think that's what that means at all.
No.
They're like, the sign's yellow, it's not red. Like,
don't
says,
be stupid.
Just think about it.
There's a
Just
yellow
don't do it.
sign that says, don't put your hand in this blender.
Yeah, caution.
Caution. Like,
Caution.
all right, so but
Don't
it's
drink
not
this
a red
acid.
sign, so I might be all right.
Yeah, there's a lot of those things about how it should be updated.
Yeah.
Investigators claim the use of the word caution suggested that leaning out the window could be done safely if care was taken. Yeah, when the train's not moving.
No, yeah.
You can maybe do that.
There's no argument there.
They said it was smaller than other signs surrounding it.
It's not good that she's dead, but it's her fault.
Yeah. It's just unfortunate. Again, everybody has done stupid things.
Yeah.
It's just they have luckily not been destroyed by it sometimes. On a footnote of this article, an inspection of the tree after the accident reported that the stem...
the tree's in bad shape,
the tree's in poor health and is growing from a decayed stump.
Oh,
so it could have been corrupted from the beginning. Could have been a murderous tree from the output.
Yeah. Sporting the wounds of a tree fight club.
Elderly people going out and training against it. Throwing, was it like pigeon feed or rice over car dealerships?
Yeah.
Ed Norton was on Rogan the other day.
I've just watched it.
It's good.
Yeah.
Surprisingly.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
Yeah, it's one of those things you go like, oh, okay. I thought Kyle Kinane was on it as well, but it was a different Kyle. I was like, finally, Kyle Kinane's on a podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he's got a podcast.
I can't listen to it because his mate does my fucking head in.
But Kyle Kinane's awesome, and it's just like I just want to see him do more stuff. And he goes around in the same circles, but just not in the same podcasty circles.
Yeah.
What more Kyle Kinane?
I've never heard Joe mention him actually.
Loads of people never really, but I think it's the same thing as who's the new Florida Theo Von. I don't know, it wasn't Florida, but southern accent comedian.
Yeah,
is what
like
I was going
Georgia
for.
sort of thing.
Theo Von was going on, is like doing really well at the moment, and he had a whole rivalry with Your Mum's House podcast because he's never been on.
Oh, right.
And they were just like, there's loads of comedians that we mix with every day that schedules just don't meet up.
Yeah.
And you kind of assume that, they're going to meet every week. It's like, no, they're really busy traveling, doing all that kind of stuff. So it could just be East Coast versus West Coast or whatever. In other news, a Halloween display in Bournemouth charity shop, which included a decapitated baby, has been removed.
Well, yeah, it's not Halloween anymore.
Not anymore. It's got to take your decorations down. The Red Cross shop in Southbourne showed a figure holding a baby with its head chopped off and blood running down its dress. It was a Red Cross shop. People got offended at a charity shop.
Okay.
Well, I think I can't say people got offended.
Well,
I can't say that phrase anymore. It doesn't mean anything anymore.
Yeah, no,
So
it
it's
doesn't.
like people got upset.
Yeah.
That's more accurate.
There's a few charity shops in town, and I was walking around the other day
Any decapitated
on
babies?
Halloween when I was, because I was out looking for pumpkins, weirdly. No decapitated babies. They did, some of them did have like autumnal and like Halloween stuff in the window, but no, nothing extreme.
Yeah.
None of them were like
Blood-splattered figurines.
no blood, nothing gory, nothing like that. Just childlike Halloween things.
It just speaks again to the way I phrased it last week was Halloween is the time when normal people vent out their hatred towards innocence.
Like
and
the Purge.
Yeah, they just hate, and this is their excuse to hate. Same with Christmas.
Yeah.
You get it with people, you can't call it Christmas anymore. It's like, yeah, of course you can. You can do whatever the fuck you want. Oh, yeah, but, Sky News doesn't call it Christmas. Fuck Sky News.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
You're with your family. Just accept that. They try and find an argument out of anything. I've got some people I know on social networks who post like stupid things that are like, Facebook doesn't want me to share this picture of a bacon sandwich because it offends people who don't eat bacon, like Muslims and vegetarians. Let's share it. It's like, no, I think you're just a moron.
Yeah.
I think anyone offended by this is equally as stupid as anybody who thinks this is a message that you should try and spread.
Yeah. You get the same stuff, the same outrage kicking off every year. And it comes from all sides, like so like around whenever the hell International Women's Day is, You get loads of people being like, "Oh, when's International Men's Day?" It's like it's in November.
Yeah, Richard Herring was always a big thing about that. He just replied to everything on Twitter, saying it's November 11th. Or whatever it is.
Okay, yeah.
He just replied to it's November 11th.
Yeah,
so it's November.
And 11th. Then like Christmas comes around and like, oh, we can't sing about this song because this song's about rape. It's like, no, we're gonna keep singing this song.
They changed the alphabet. That was a big thing.
Did they?
Yeah, they changed it.
What?
New letters. No, they changed the song, and they changed the one bit. The HIJKLMNOP.
Right.
Was our alphabet, right?
Yeah.
They've changed it to HIJKLMNOPQR. They've just slowed it down, that brief part.
Why?
Because it make it easier for people to understand, I think. You could argue that some dyslexics or some people have trouble with that part of the song.
Doesn't understand the alphabet.
Or melody.
Yeah. But like maybe that's just kids, and maybe it'll be something they stumble over for a year and then they'll get it and they'll be fine, just like everybody does with things that are a little bit more complex than the norm.
It is weird reading when you're a kid, right? I think it's part of my downfall.
Reading,
because I read a high level or whatever because I used to read a lot.
Yeah,
but that meant that I read a load of adult books about murder. And like just horrific books I just start reading, and military books I just read those. It'd be like a 6-year-old kid being like, we were doing a recce around the minefield and Barry lost his legs. I don't think I've had a book that freaked me out though.
No, nothing that freaked me out. A lot of people, but I haven't read a lot. I just used to read when I was a kid. I really have to force myself. Like there's only a few books that I'm making a point at the minute of reading pretty much every night, and I have been for 2-3 months maybe. And I like it. It's a good way to wind down rather than watching TV, because that just keeps me fucking wired. But like, there's very few books where I've been like, I can't put this down. You know what I mean? And I don't know if it's because I'm not attached to the story or just because I'm not attached to reading.
I've had that with books quite a lot.
I've had it with,
but just not recently.
I've had it with a couple. But like literally not even 5.
People always say it's attention span. It probably is.
Yeah.
Because I just want to go out and do other things. I want to sit down and mellow out.
Yeah.
And if I do sit down and mellow out, I'll listen to music or silence and just chill.
I've been doing.
I really want sounds of bowling.
That's died. Sorted. Slight case of bees.
Yeah, a few bees.
Reading. Andy McNabb.
Reading. I didn't even say Andy McNabb, but knew it was Andy McNabb.
Yeah.
Just haven't had that much reading for a little bit.
Stuff that you've been attached to. Stuff that you've been like.
Oh, that was it. I don't. If I sit down to relax, I usually just sit in silence or listen to music.
Yeah.
And Jim Brewer was talking recently on a podcast about the music he listens to chill out. And I think that I find too much relaxation and comfort in the surreal.
Yeah.
And just the ridiculous. Like, I loved... ever since The Big Lebowski, I've always wanted to have the sounds of bowling, like, as an album. Just listen to bowling. Just like, good. Or just people screaming.
Yeah.
That it relaxes me, because it's just so absurd. It's like, oh yeah, this is I'm aware that I'm alive right now.
Yeah.
Because this is happening.
Yeah.
It's not mundane. Yeah, it's the opposite of mundane. I get bored by mundane. And I think that's what it is.
I've started listening to podcasts much more actively recently as opposed to passively.
Like when you're running or something.
No. So like, well, that I would describe as passively. Like you're doing it in the background of something else.
Yeah.
Whereas, there's a lot of them at the minute where I'm plugging into the stereo downstairs and I'm just making a coffee and then sitting and just listening for like however long it is, and it's actually sort of quite meditative. It's a really different way of taking things in.
Yeah, what podcasts really are. It's just you're just in the same room as people having a conversation. Yeah. So it can be nice just to be listening to that conversation.
Yeah, move that up again.
Moving
Sorry.
up. In other news,
Yep.
away from books,
Away from books.
audience
And bees.
participation.
Oh.
We've got some articles sent in by people. A 31-year-old German woman is going to tie the knot with an airplane she's dated and expressed deep romantic feelings towards for 5 years. Now, we covered something similar that's referenced in this article about a woman who wanted to marry a train station.
Oh, yeah, the one that married a train station, one that fell in love with a slide, one that married a bridge.
Yeah. But I love the idea. I like that this one is something that leaves you every day. Like, if unfortunately she's
In the most dramatic way possible. Just fuck off.
1,000 miles an hour. Just like of all the things to fall in love with, there's a whole thing you could go down and be like, oh, isn't it silly how people fall in love with objects? Love is love. I just go like, yeah, if you love this, great. I don't think it's hurting anybody.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, this one leaves you all the time. And you can't just go to the airport and sit with a plane.
No.
You have to go in the plane to go somewhere. So whenever she wants to have some contact with her love, she has to like fly to Spain. Wherever
Thing, man, like, I'm too possessive with my stuff. Like,
well, so she's gonna marry it.
That's the thing. Like, there's no part of me that would ever like probably fall in love with a plane. But if I had a thing and someone else said, like that tripod that the camera's on, like I'm in love with that tripod, I'm gonna marry it. Like, no, go and buy your own, you fucking.
Yeah, it's mine.
Yeah,
You've asked for my permission to marry it.
Yeah,
and I've
like
said
knocking
no.
on the door, being like, I've come to see my husband. Like, fuck off.
Yeah, just I guess it is kind of possessive of that person who doesn't own the object.
Yeah, well,
that she's in
it
love with.
belongs to the airport. Whoever runs the airport, like, they're not like, no, like, get off our plane.
It's not a practical relationship, is what we're saying. Yeah. I mean, there's lots of impractical relationships.
Yeah.
But this one feels like pretty rough.
Yeah.
Like a train station you can go visit, you've got that, it's there.
Yeah.
A slide, you can go there. Maybe not during school time.
All
or
hours
whatever.
of the day. But
yeah. But you can go there and check out that slide.
Yeah.
Or a bridge, sure. It's there. But a plane that's always leaving you, it's a long distance relationship with an object.
Yeah.
It feels like you could do something different. I don't think it's as alien as I think people think. You know,
I think
falling in love with
I think a lot of
random
people
stuff.
have probably got it, and I imagine I don't imagine they've had good relationships in their lives. And
Well-
in the like, I'm trying to put myself into the mindset of someone that would reach that
Yeah.
point.
Well, think about it as well. Like, 'cause I get it with people, right? Where it takes a lot for me to actually start liking somebody.
Yeah.
And when I say a lot, it's not a time frame thing. It's just I need to see a part of a mature person who's grown and is someone I can connect to. And there's so many people who are like, oh, you know, what do you do for fun? Well, you know, I collect books and don't read them. Like, I can't, like, I don't get that. But it's having that charming moment where they do something great. I mean, everyone who falls in love, they don't fall in love with, I love her because she got blue eyes.
Yeah.
That'd be like the
Not
way...
unless you're like a child.
Yeah, it's just like there's something about them, a way that they've acted in a certain situation that you've been like, that's when I knew.
Yeah.
And it's because of a strange, abstract idea that they portrayed.
Yeah.
And you fall in love with that idea, with the person who came up with that idea. Or did that in a certain way or whatever. And you go like, that's what you connect to, not necessarily the person.
Yeah, when
so I
you
reckon you
see
could probably have that with an object.
Certain intangibles within a context that you hadn't seen them before.
Sure. Or just... It's always the little things in films and whatever, the olden days. Oh, it was the way that she sang when she did X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's what kind of lulled you into emotional dependence. Is it dependent if you're in love with somebody? Yes, I guess so. You depend on them to exist so that you can express your love.
Yeah.
If that person left, you would lose part of yourself.
Yeah.
So therefore you're dependent on it.
Yeah.
Pathetic.
Weakness.
You said before, we had a brief chat about an idea that I've been trying to work out about. You said a hate crime doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. You didn't seem up for this conversation. But the argument that, because I had people say that, I've had a few similar discussions with people about, like, time doesn't exist, right? Like, okay, I think it does. But I think the same thing, it's the same argument as love.
Yeah.
Basically saying that hate crime doesn't exist, well, then that means that love doesn't exist, because you can't go to prison, you can't get a loan because you love.
I think you'd have to flesh out that argument some more.
We were saying that hate crime isn't a crime because it's not defined.
I didn't say I wanted you to.
Oh. In other news. But a love crime, like a kiss and run.
Isn't that?
Well, that's not really a love crime.
Not.
That's hate crime. Woman's in love with the plane. Oh, sorry, the funny thing was the plane's name is Shats. She's in love with the plane. Unfortunately, it's a plane and it goes in and out and leaves.
Rolls off the tongue.
And her Shats is my first love. This is the most beautiful relationship you can imagine. Sure.
He leaves me every day.
Yeah, just Shats. Oh dear.
Is it always women? I think the articles we've discussed have always been women.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's men.
I'm sure it's not. That's not a thing. Like,
I'm sure that there are men out there who get overly attached to some things.
But it's seen as so normal in men that it doesn't make the papers.
Maybe. But maybe it's just less perverted.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, hang on.
You do way worse shit than fuck slides.
This is a further note. In other news, a drunk man who was filmed thrusting at a pile of leaves with his trousers around his ankles has been jailed for 8 weeks. What if they were moving towards marriage? Yeah. What if he wanted to marry that pile of leaves?
Fuck me, man. Like a plane is a complicated relationship. A pile of leaves. That's a complicated relationship.
They're dead. You're fucking the dead.
It's not going to be around for long. Plus, like, it's constantly fragmenting.
Yeah, it's decaying. When it comes off the tree, it's dead.
Yeah.
You're not fucking a tree.
No.
Fucking its dead hair, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Michael Golsorki, 26.
Is it the same pile of leaves if one of the leaves blows over there?
No, you can't cut off parts of someone and still fuck the same person.
It's the whole... You then, every time you go to, like, be with your partner, you're having a whole philosophical debate as to whether it's still your partner. Like the boat, if you replace all the planks on a boat, is it the same boat? Like, if I replace all the leaves on Sharon, is it still Sharon?
Well, I mean, he was just drunk and fucking leaves. I'm not sure how much he was doing it. I guess when we think about it.
I think that's why the women make the papers, because they form a genuine connection, whereas men just fuck stuff.
Just get overloaded. I'm going to fuck that pile of leaves. Spring forward, fall back. He abandoned the missionary position and scuttled away into nearby bushes.
Abandoned the missionary position.
After Premier Inn staff shouted at him to clear off. He hid in the bushes for 10 minutes. Was he fucking the bush? We don't know.
We don't know.
Before sheepishly emerging...
Multiple partners. Filth.
Yeah. Polyamorous, biological, organic fucking.
Yeah. Polyamorous botanist.
Police arrived 10 minutes later in Stockport, Greater Manchester. Golsorki told officers he was mortified by the lewd act, which took place in a car park outside a Beefeater, where families were eating. What are you going to have, darling? I'll have the chicken nuggets and chips. And you, I'll have what he's having. Oh, oh my God! Fucking leaves. Stop fucking the leaves. Stop it. He had consumed a cocktail of booze, cannabis, and cocaine. And if you mix all those three together, you fuck a pile of leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah. And lastly from
none of those are, like... Well, they're psychoactive, I suppose, weed is, but none of them are...
fuck leaves.
Hallucinatory. Yeah. So... He was always going to fuck a pile of leaves.
That was his plan from the beginning.
There was always part of him that could do that.
Well, it's just testosterone.
Yeah.
When it rises, it really rises.
Yeah.
And you just can't help yourself. I can just describe it as it's like a pregnant woman craving something.
Yeah.
It's just hormones going crazy.
Yeah.
And you just don't know what to do with it. And we're engineered to have it ready all the time.
Like, it's never viewed like that. It's never seen like that. I was listening to Bill Burr the other day, and he was saying it jokingly, but it was true. Like, women have no idea what a male sex drive does to you. Like they have it's the determination of the media and the wider world is always to purvey it as filth and you're out of control and you're just a disgusting person. But it's like, realistically, unless you are a man, you have no idea what that urge is and how it makes you feel.
Yeah.
And the things...
then even then, most people, 90% of people don't understand themselves.
Yeah.
Don't look introspectively to understand why they're acting a certain way.
Yeah.
And don't know that it's because of testosterone. So it's just or hormones or whatever. It's just different. You just become a different person. Like after orgasming, you just become a different person.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just insane. And lastly from me, a Chinese businessman, Tan Yui, was looking for a hitman to take out a competitor, Wei Mo, I think, and was willing to pay 2 million won. The hitman that Mr. Yui hired decided to offer the job to another hitman for half the original price.
Outsourcing. Clever.
Outsourcing. The second hitman then subtracted to another hitman who subtracted it to a fourth.
Jesus Christ.
So it's gone a bit down. That hitman... We've discovered hitmen before, right? And they got paid $5,000 or something and a van.
So this guy was getting paid nothing.
£200,000 is what it started off as. £218,000.
All right.
And halved and then halved again.
Christ.
And halved again. Hitman number 5 was so incensed at how much the value of the contract had fallen that he told the target to fake his own death, which eventually led to the police finding out about the plot. So he told the victim, like, look, there's all these people trying to kill you.
Yeah.
I don't want to kill you.
Yeah, it's not
Just
worth
fake your
the
own
money
death
for
and
me
I'll get
anymore.
50 grand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to stab you. Just pretend to be dead.
Yeah.
So a hitman hires a hitman who hires a hitman who hires a hitman who hires hitmen who tell the police.
Yeah.
How do you become a hitman?
Start killing people.
Just start doing it and charge
Yeah, it's like anything. It's like I do video stuff. Like you have to do a couple of free jobs before the paid ones start coming through. Like,
just becomes a certain once you learn a trade, it's probably pretty doable.
Trade, yeah.
Just feels
I
weird
suppose to do
market
it and not get caught, that's a trade.
I mean, I'm terrible with
That's a
social
skill.
media. I imagine hitmen are pretty bad as well.
Yeah.
Can't be like Instagramming all your murders.
No. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, who can you trust?
If they are though,
was the caption.
I want to follow that.
I'd love to see the tweets of a murderer.
Yeah.
Oh, busy day today, and it's raining. Working outside. That's me this week. Me and the audience this week.
Oh, right. So it's my turn now.
Yep. Fucking a pile of leaves.
Fucking hell.
Steve's collection of useless meanderings. Scum.
In 2016, Shabani, a male gorilla at the Japanese zoo, received worldwide attention when women started flocking to see him as they thought him to be extremely handsome and manly.
Oh, yeah. I remember.
The crowds of women yelling his name made him so uncomfortable that zoo staff had to put up signs telling them to stop. That
He's feeling
gorilla
objectified.
is fit.
Did you see the images?
No.
He's got a very human face.
Has he?
Yeah, like a very human... I think, it looks like it's just someone in a costume. Oh. Maybe it is. But, no, it's not. It's just like this looks very human-like.
Don't know why that's an excuse.
But yeah, I remember this being quite a big thing. And that, if you were to draw a conventionally handsome man, it would look similar to this gorilla. And I think people just like...
Let's have a look. I have got the link, so I'll have to have a look. Yeah.
I'm assuming it's the same. I'm assuming there's only been one incredibly handsome gorilla.
In captivity. I
The
don't
real
know.
handsome ones are out in the wild.
He just looks... Maybe it's the eyes.
Yeah, it doesn't look as much like a gorilla, if you know what I mean. Obviously, it's a gorilla.
Definitely looks like gorilla to me.
Yeah, but it's more human shaped.
That one.
That's an unflattering photo. There are better photos of that sexy gorilla.
All right.
Or whatever. But yeah, that's But it's a weird thing where you see some kind of thing in something.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. You fall in love with an idea. You don't fall in love with a person.
An idea of a gorilla.
Bananas.
I get this. Yeah.
Just makes you feel a certain way, I guess. I don't know. It's not even non-judgmental. I just don't care. Do you know what I mean? Love all the gorillas you want. As long as they don't
legally.
mind. Yeah. Love all the train stations and planes that you want.
Yeah.
Go out and be you. Have fun. Chill out. It's hilarious. And don't deny that it's hilarious. Because everything's hilarious. So you always have to accept that you're under scrutiny of comedy and satire.
Yeah.
Never liked that word satire until I realised that loads of people don't want them to be themselves to be satirised.
Yeah.
And all that means is, I think, made fun of.
Don't take the piss.
Poke fun at.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's fine. You should be secure enough to be shown how insecure you really are.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Moon's bright tonight.
It's just at you. That's all.
It's going to get through the beard.
Yeah. Bees.
Bees!
Oh. Have I got the bees? Oh, yeah, there you go.
Did you know this thing about bees?
There you go. Bees don't shit in the hive. And over the winter it builds up because they stay out of the cold, so it builds up inside of them. But on the warmer winter days, they'll all fly out at once and shit.
Come on, boys!
They've become known as cleaning flights.
And drop! Are all bees, like, obviously the queen bee is female, but there are a bunch of queen bees, but there's way more male worker bees.
I don't know how the bee oligarchy works. Like I don't know.
Just because it feels
what my brain says is that the queen is the only female and every other one is male.
Yeah. And there are multiple queen bees.
Yeah.
But there's no, like, top queen bee. There's one top
there's one top queen bee, and there's, like, princesses.
Yeah.
Who are being who are growing and being fed in order for them to leave and start their own hive. Yeah.
But yeah, it feels like
and they eat royal jelly.
Type of jam. I think.
It's a specifically like nutrient rich, and they're anointed to eat the royal jelly, and it turns them into a queen. Because all the bees come out as a standard larvae, and then the ones that are fed this type grow into a queen.
The effects of sugar.
Yeah.
Mutate you into a different form of a different gender of your own species.
Yeah, makes you massive.
Yeah. Massive and able to run away from others.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. Shitting flights, cleaning flights.
The reason I say that as well is because I would expect the female bees to shit in the hive or whatever for pheromones.
I'm
or
not
whatever.
going out there.
No, but like to alert other male bees that female bees are around.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'd imagine I guess all the dancing.
Queen going out to shit. Would you have worker bees like around her, like guards? Like, because it's the only time she leaves. I only leave to take a shit.
Yeah, I've never thought of queen bees as leaving the hive. But maybe they do.
I suppose they must.
Yeah, to shit.
Yeah. Simon in Simon Says is different in other countries. In France, it's Jack Says. Chinese, it's Teacher Says. In Ireland, it's O'Grady. And in Norway, it's The King Commands.
The King Commands is weak.
Yeah, I think it's trying to be something that it's not. And like, if some kid when I was in school said the king commands you do this, no,
I'll follow. I'll do what Simon says.
I'll do what Simon says. Simon, man of the people.
He's an all right guy.
Yeah, down to earth. I know where I'm at with Simon or O'Grady.
He doesn't buy into the bee oligarchy.
No, no.
Jack.
I
guess it's Jacques.
Jacques. Yeah, maybe.
Jacques says.
Does he?
Already sounds defeated.
Yeah.
With them being French as well. Well, Jacques says.
Yeah. Chinese, it's
What is
teacher,
life?
which seems very appropriate. Authoritarian figure. But not too
Only listen to
authoritarian.
teacher. Yeah.
Still below the emperor.
Do you have to be friends with your kids' teachers?
No.
If you hate them.
Oh, yeah, no.
I mean, I had a teacher got fired because he threw a chair at one of the students. And I remember I told my mum about it, and she was like, bit weird.
Yeah.
And he's like, and he called this kid a cunt. And she was like, that's fine. But I don't throw chairs in.
Yeah.
It's just, it's a weird French.
No,
weird
I don't
French
think
teacher.
I don't think you have to be. I think it makes it easier if parents have a good relationship with the teachers.
I want to know when it's more appropriate to go be a complete prick, and for it to be absolutely fine. Because I spent so much time in customer service as being like, no, you should always just be nice and understanding of people. I think there's more and more times where you have to be like, no, just fuck you, and not because you can't do anything about it. It's just because I'm in an understandable position of I'm upset in this circumstance, and I'm allowed to express it.
Yeah.
I know it's not your fault, but fuck you. Whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think if I had kids, I don't think I'd get along with their teachers.
I wonder if people even pick their schools. Usually it was just like
You're in a catchment
one of
area.
5 within a certain postcode.
Yeah, you're in a catchment area, and then if you want to go outside of that, which you can do, there has to be a place for you. Like then they have to work out if there's going to be enough room. Like because I went to the high school I went to, like I wasn't in their catchment area, but I got in because my sister had gotten in like 3 years before me, and there's like this thing. I think it's called like a legacy scheme or something like that. Where like if your relatives
Starting at high school.
yeah, like if your relatives have gone, then you can go or something like that.
Feels weird that you'd have to choose between say 5 or a dozen schools.
Yeah.
It depends where you live as well, I guess. Yeah. Funny.
And finally, in 2001, the Mongolian Navy consisted of just 7 members, and only one of them knew how to swim.
I've got a friend, a Danish guy,
Yeah.
who wanted to be in the military. So he started military training for the Danish. They had something where it wasn't the regular army, it was like the special forces or something like that. This took people whoever
Right.
wanted for the training or whatever. And he couldn't swim. And I was just like, well, you're Danish. Isn't that a whole big thing that Danes swim? He says, yeah, I just can't. I said, well, you're going to have to learn for the army. There was an article, another sent in by a user that I didn't include, about there's now I didn't know if it was true. The police force can elect themselves to not be included in any swearing circumstances.
Right.
So if you're a police person, you can elect to be like, I find swearing offensive, and so do not want to be no swearing to be said around me, and only work in certain areas where there's no swearing.
Jesus.
And you go like, I don't understand how practical that is.
Yeah, no,
I
it's
mean,
not.
you can do some stuff, I'm sure, but you're not going to be 100% effective.
You can stay at your desk and do paperwork if that's what you want to do.
And as long as the paperwork hasn't got any swear words on it.
Yeah.
And then what's a swear word? And then what's
Yeah.
that? It just becomes like, it's crazy. And I imagine it's the same for the army. You can't just be like, I can't swim.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
I'd like to be in an area where there's no fighting.
If you wouldn't mind.
All right.
So before I wanted to join the army when I was a kid, but I was I'm a stupid person. I didn't realise that being asthmatic was a problem in the desert. I wanted to be a fireman when I was a kid as well.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know what the term for it would be.
You wanted to be a fireman. You wanted to be a soldier. Like, I just want to hurl myself into bullets and fire.
That's what I do. Just putting myself in stupid situations.
Yeah.
Love the story.
Yeah.
Too much Andy McNabb. It's just I've got a quick decision brain. So it's like, and I think a lot of people fall into that hesitation area, and that results in inactivity or not reacting to a situation. And I react before my brain or body goes, right, okay, let's do this then.
Yeah.
There's kids, there's parents, there's adults chasing kids in the street. Well, let's just go outside and see what's going on. It's like, oh my God, what's going on?
Yeah.
No, just go outside and deal with it. Just kill everyone. Okay. Go out and do this. But like, it was like the girlfriend I had when I was 12.
Yeah.
So like primary school, secondary school girlfriend. Her dad was a fireman. I remember chatting to him at some school do, and he's just like, "You're asthmatic, aren't you?" It's like, yeah. It's like, you never thought that like smoke would be a problem. It's like, oh yeah, smoke gives me an asthma attack. So maybe you shouldn't be a fireman. Okay.
Yeah.
And it was just rom-com career role, I think, when I was growing up. It was like, oh, if I was a fireman, then that means you're respected in the community.
Yeah.
And that's another part of your bow when it comes to going speed dating, which is something I've never done.
Yeah.
And not even sure it exists. It's not an English thing.
It's
like
not
a
an English
bar
thing,
crawl.
but it does exist.
Yeah, but is it in England?
Yeah. There's a few times when we've been in places and there's been a speed dating event going on in like the back room or something, and you just keep hearing all these dings and bells going off and people just being horrendously disappointed.
It's probably an efficient way of doing stuff, though, I guess. I think
It's not.
you get to know a lot about a person in your first meeting of them.
Yeah.
A lot of people can be
Do you
quite
get
reserved.
to know a lot about them in 2 minutes or
I
whatever
think
it is?
so.
I think it's dumb.
If we went to a house party and we started chatting to people at the house party, within 2 minutes of talking to them, you're like, I know you, you're a prick. I get I'm not going to have fun with you.
Yeah,
and it can change, can definitely change.
Yeah, maybe there's an in-person thing that can help. Well, I was going to say it's kind of like trying to get to know someone by reading like 5 of their tweets or something.
Oh no, you get all the information from the image of when you're with them, chatting to them, how they're communicating.
You get their air, you get their
I think everybody who meets me for the first time, depending on what mood I'm in, gets a pretty good idea of who I am.
Yeah.
Like, I'm quite outward in how I express myself. So,
Yeah.
but and sometimes people aren't, and they grow on you, but or they take a while to warm up. But I reckon you could probably, if you could meet in person for 2 minutes, a load of people, it probably works. Just never seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You should
speed
try it.
dating.
Bring
I
back
should
your findings.
Start screaming at people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be great. Anyway,
Yeah.
so I'm at Nick Snip.
I'm at Sing It Steve.
We're at Pulling Teeth Pod. We are wisdom at pullingteethpodcast.com.
Yeah. At Pulling Teeth Pod on Twitter and Instagram. You can find us at facebook.com/Pulling Teeth Podcast, where we post links and videos and all the stuff. That's probably the best place to stay updated aside from actually subscribing to us on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm watching us on YouTube and
yeah.
all that jazz. And we've got the website, pullingteethpodcast.com,
Yeah.
which is very basic, but
It's
it's
got everything.
And we'll have episodes up a day early.
Yeah.
So you can, if you want to watch it, if you want to get it on a Tuesday, you can get it on a Tuesday.
Fun.
All fun times.
All right. Tom Segura.
Tom
Let's go do this.
Put that down.
Yeah. See you next week.
See you.